Hello, everyone. This is Chad. It's just going to be me today, a little different format. I'm going to be giving out my top 5 tips and tricks on what I do when I travel, on how I find low-cost airfare. I've traveled a lot. I've traveled all over the world, and sometimes I know where I'm going in advance. Sometimes I know the dates. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I buy it the day before, a day of, a couple days out. That's kind of what we're going to go over in this first one today. We're just going to do my first tip and trick. It's going to be just my basic low fare finder. Yeah, if this sounds of interest to you or anything, go ahead, hit that like button. Also, go ahead and subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and make sure to hit those bell notifications so you're always up to date on all of the videos that we put out. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Here we go. So like I said, I use Google Flights, and so the first thing I'm going to talk about is if you have a destination in mind and some dates. I'm going to start in Denver. That's where I'm at right now. And let's go to, let's say we wanted to go to Los Angeles. I lived in Los Angeles for 10 years, so I go back there quite a bit. So let's see if we wanted to do that. Just for ease, to keep whatever, I'm just going to keep in August 2nd to August 6th. All right. And as a lot of you know right now, it is kind of cheap to fly with everything going on. I have flown, and it's, as long as you're safe and everything, then it's pretty good. Wear your masks, wash your hands, don't touch your eyes, basic stuff. You're pretty good to go for the most part. Just be safe if you do decide to travel. But here are results. This is saying we can get round trip from Denver to LA for $56. So pretty easy right there. This would be our flight out, 9:45 a.m., 11:07. So we would click that. And actually, oh, this is great. Actually, this is one of the things I was going to talk about, so I'm glad this came up. One of the things I really like about Google Flights is it'll pick out one-way flights for you, potentially on different airlines. If we wanted to stay with one carrier, we could still do United for $75, so it's a little bit more. But that's definitely one of the main things that I like about Google Flights. If we do that, we click here, say we wanted to take this Spirit Airlines one. The next step on Google Flights, they will take you to here. And if you look, if we select this, we like that, great. This pop-up will come up. It'll say, visit site, book with United, book with Spirit. I always suggest this no matter what. If you use Google Flights or Travelocity or Expedia or SkyScanner, if you find a deal on there, always go to the main airline's website. 90+% of the time, they're going to have the same price, and booking directly with the airline is always encouraged unless it's just a significant deal. The first reason, if you do book directly with the airline, if there happens to be any cancellations, any delays, anything that you need to change, anything like that, it's always much easier dealing directly with the airline. If you've gone through a third party, they're less likely to help you out on any kind of changes or delays, cancellations. The second one major reason is, and I'll get to this in other episodes, but the airlines like it if you book with them. So you generally get better rewards by booking directly on the airline. So always, if you can, it's usually the same price. Go ahead and book with the airline. Sometimes if it's not, even if you call the airline and say, hey, I found this on Expedia and it's $30 cheaper for the exact same flight, a lot of times they'll match that because they'd rather you book directly through them. So if in this case, and always if you do it, go to those websites, confirm the price on both websites at the same time, have 2 different windows open, and then go book them back to back. The second option, which I love about Google Flights, is say, you're still going to LA, but maybe you didn't know what dates you wanted to go for sure. You can always click on the little calendar here, and it displays all of the different prices per day on what your round trip ticket would be. So we can fly out a day later on the 3rd for $41 if we're willing to do that. So we would click there, and then it's still got the 6th. We know we could come back on the 6th for a total of $35. Now we've got a round trip ticket for $35, and we have a couple airline options here. We've got a 6:50 p.m., 7:55, 3:53. So again, you go through the same process. You click which one you like for each direction. With Google, it also works the same way if you wanted to do a one-way trip, multiple city, anything like that, same options as always. Another thing I really like about Google Flights is say you don't even know where you want to go. And I do this a lot. I mean, there's multiple times I've been traveling and I just pull up and see what's a cheap flight, see what's available. So what you can do on Google Flights here, you just leave it as is. Maybe you know your dates, maybe you don't. And you just do a search. And what it'll do, it'll bring up a little map here. And you can scroll anywhere on you can zoom in. It'll give you different options in different cities. You've got Salt Lake for 107, Reno 115, Portland $78. That's pretty good. You can just click on that. This will give you the options here. You just say view flights. You can go, and then again, they split them up. It's on 2 different airlines. There's your 2 options right there. So we didn't even know where we wanted to go, and it gave us a great option. What I always do you go to the airlines and book them directly if you find what you like, but I do like to confirm it with the second website that I'm going to, and that would be SkyScanner. So just go to skyscanner.com. We'll just stick with the same things. I'll go through the different options that we have here. So we'll do Denver, and where were we going? Portland. Now, so what I like about SkyScanner, while that's looking there, they'll bring up third-party sites as well. So Expedia's and those, and they'll include those in addition to the direct website. They don't usually mix and match, but sometimes on third-party websites, you do find that significant discount. So sometimes it is worth it just to check. Yeah, it looks like they've got Frontier 103. So same type of thing. I would always check that, but let me go back real quick. One thing I really, they've also got if you don't know anywhere, you can't decide where to go, click here. And basically it'll break it down where you want to go. And so, we can start at the United States, $24, Vegas, Los Angeles. Basically from there, you go through the same process. But another thing that SkyScanner will do, again, if you're not sure about your dates, you can do the whole month. So you can pick a month and it'll break it down. There's even cheaper, $22. And then that'll give you what city that's going to. It'll break it down. And then when you click it, it'll actually tell you. So let's say like Minneapolis here, $22. It'll give you the calendar here. So, you can find it as low as $22. So $12 here on the 4th. And then say you wanted to stay a week, and $11 on the 11th. So round trip, you're looking at $23. So that's another great tool that I love using SkyScanner for. Another thing that I remember is a lot of these airlines, especially Frontier and Spirit, like those flights, all you can have is a backpack for those prices. So remember that when you are booking, and a lot of times you have to pay for seats and stuff. Again, that stuff doesn't bother me. I'm looking for the Airfare, and that's how I travel. So be aware of that. A lot of times with these as well, I check with Southwest, especially if you're doing stuff in the States, as you can see the little Southwest thing here. But especially if you need to have bags, Southwest is great. Their bags fly free. I try to fly if I have like a golf trip or something. I definitely, if I know I'm checking a bag, I check Southwest. All right, so that pretty much sums up the 2 major things that I do with my basic low fare finder. Whether I have a destination in mind or dates, or whether I don't. I go with the Google Flights and the SkyScanner. Just to recap there, remember, once you do find your flights, always go check it directly with the airline. If you can, generally it's going to be the same price. It's going to be easier over time if you do that. Also, just be aware of luggage situation and what kind of traveling you're going to be doing with those airlines, and what their regulations on luggage and seats and picking all that kind of stuff are. So that's it for now. Until the next video, hope you enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you soon. What I go ahead and do, did I get that? What I do